Ladies and gentlemen, I give you an. This one is one where I didn't want to talk about it, but I did some digging and this is Spider-Man 3 Mysteries Revealed. All right, first things first. This is just basically a review of everything, but here we go. Uncle Ben's Killer. That's number one. Two movies, it was believed that a spiky blonde-haired robber shot him, but in the last movie, they said it was Flint Marko holding a gun. So it's true, Flint shot Ben, but due to a nudge of Spiky, he was shot. So without the nudge, Uncle Ben might have lived. But I mean, it's really not really that good because, well, the dude did kill Uncle Ben. It's just that he was the one holding the gun, but he was the one who was like, "Come on, let's go!" Nudged him, and he accidentally, and Flint Marko pulled the trigger and killing him. So yeah. Next one. Eddie Brock got screwed. That's one other thing that you expect that Sam Raimi, which Sam Raimi didn't have anything to do with Spider-Man 3. I'll tell you after this. So, in the first movie, from 50 minutes 49 seconds to 56 minutes 51 seconds, Eddie was mentioned to be there trying to get pictures. Since he was present before the third, then why did they reestablish him and how he was able to get the pictures? Because, well, and plus, besides that, they were like, before that, they were like, who's this guy? Oh, this is a new guy we hired. If he was in the first movie, then why in the world? And not only that, but well, they were saying you're trying for weeks to get Spider-Man's picture, and how in the freaking world, after Spider-Man 1 and 2, he comes in and he's like, here's a picture. What the frick, man? That just doesn't make sense whatsoever. But here's the main thing. The producers insert their input and made Gwen Stacy as a love interest in a love triangle, which is basically Laura Zinskin's idea. And here's the original thought. Sandman and the Vulture were supposed to be in a movie. And basically it was the brothers' fault because, well, they had to write about the black suit. So the brother is the reason why they put anger and vengefulness of the black suit. That's why it was that. And basically the studio had all control over it, and he had no creative control. Sam Raimi had no creative control. And they were trying to make a Venom spin-off. That's all Avi Arad. All the Venom crap you see in Spider-Man 3, all Avi Arad, because he was a good character. Lots of fans love him. You should put him in Spider-Man 3. I want him to be in Spider-Man 3. I love him. I don't even give a darn about Spider-Man. Screw Spider-Man. I want Venom. I think Venom should be in all the movies and everything. So basically that's what and basically I got most of this from Alvin Sargent, which Alvin Sargent, he's a good guy. He just said it should have been two films, and the fact that it was the studio who had major creative control over the third movie. And Amy Pastel had something to do with Gwen Stacy as well. And there's a secret fourth movie. So they had the script written and ready to go, but the script is somewhere. Who knows? Maybe Sony just burned the script. And it was Alvin Sargent who said after the second film, they wanted to do a reboot. So that's why the third movie sucked so much, is because it was sabotaged by the studio so they can get a reboot. Which after the third one, which made him look bad, he was like, he wanted to do the fourth one to redeem himself, but they were like, we give you a short time slot, you got to get this by in this time and this time and this time, and that's why he had to walk out, and that's why they got the reboot, which personally, I say if you got the reboot, and the reboot sucks like freaking hell. I'm sorry, but the reboot sucks so badly. I mean, it has some good things, but for some reason, you guys basically screwed it over. And I did some looking into it, and for the most part, when it came to Spider-Man 1, they had the same three producers as in Amazing Spider-Man. So Matthew Tolmack came back. And for the second movie, they had Lauren New Orleans. And the third one is Grant Curtis, who most likely just sit back and said, well, y'all guys sabotage it. Go right ahead. I'll make sure he won't resist or anything. Which, yeah, there's no way to resist it because then they would have pulled the plug, which isn't that what they wanted? Or, well, since they did have the license for it, it's kind of like, well, yeah, they basically had the license for it and they needed license renewed. And since they were able to get the reboot ready in 2007, or wasn't able to convince them to move on from it after 2004, that's when they were like, we need to sabotage because we want a reboot. But personally, yeah, the original Spider-Man 3 was supposed to have Vulture and Sandman as the bad guys. And the fourth movie, if it would have been made, would have been Vulture and Black Cat. And it would have been a two-parter. His first two-parter movie. But since they basically made sure he was dug in the dirt and pulled, that's why it didn't occur. He did watch the newest Spider-Man, even though at first he was unwilling to watch it, just like with Edward Norton not wanting to watch the Avengers. Right now, I've seen that at least Sam Raimi did watch it. He loved the movie. It was like some stupid idiot who was like, well, he saw the movie, he enjoyed it, now you guys shut up. I'm like, okay, well, it's not because Sam Raimi got screwed over that I don't like the movie. You basically got someone who did his first movie at Sundance, and then he brought his Sundance skills, well, at least his taste of music, into it. I mean, Spider-Man would be good if they would have actually in the studio was like, well, we do have this music that we put in trailer 3 and 4. I think it's a good idea that we should actually put that in the movie. Yeah, so, I don't know what to say. I'm just saying that Spider-Man 3 was sabotaged, and there's evidence out there. Just look for what Alvin Sargent said, because he was like executive producer, or he was someone who was working with Sam Raimi on the Spider-Man films, and he was, yeah. So thank you for listening, and I bet I'll get fire for this, but yeah, Spider-Man 3 was a freaking sabotaged movie. Peace out. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I will do a little quick review on the Green Hornet. Yes, Green Hornet. Unbelievable movie, I have to admit. Because my uncle, even my dad, they were all like, ooh, the Green Hornet movie, that should be good. And it turns out to be a massive flop. It kind of like, it's a mockery of Green Hornet. It should have been called what the main character tried to name him first, the Green Bee. I mean, excuse me. I mean, it actually should. Sorry about that. I think it actually should it's kind of in the rank of The Punisher and Captain America, the 90s movies, not the recent ones, the 90s movies. Except it has more high tech stuff. As for the Green Hornet, they actually made him into a kind of wimp, a bit of a jerk. He's fat. And it's like amazing what they did. While while Kato, he got like lots and lots of respect. I mean, seriously, they did the character right. They did the character right on him. I mean, it's either, well, it seems like Seth Rogen wrote the part for himself. They didn't actually make it a real action movie. I mean, it is an action movie, it's actually a superhero movie, but not that much. I mean, it's more of a comedy movie than actually Green Hornet. So right now, I would just say that one actually is like a downgrade of Green Hornet, and I'm sorry for the fans of Green Hornet who watched it and was like, "Oh my gosh, this is horrible. This is garbage." And let's just hope that eventually someone who actually is a fan of the Green Hornet, which I bet they were fans too, but an actual fan of Green Hornet who actually would do right with by Green Hornet will come. It's kind of like with Spider-Man. I mean, Sam Raimi did it right, while you have Matt Webb. Well, Webb, the director Webb, he is not really doing a bang up job. I mean, the first one was okay, but it seems like he's trying to style it as if he's still in Sundance, which he's not anymore. You have to get out of that and start doing it right, you know? I mean, there's not a real right way or wrong way, but in my taste, I would say it's like messed up. I mean, seriously. Sam Raimi enjoyed the movie. That's good for him, but it's still kind of like it's not really closure for me. And to restart it, it's kind of like, well, there was a Spider-Man 4, and Spider-Man 3 was a big messed up, and it was actually sabotaged too. But anyways, with Green Hornet, I would just say it's a good funny comedy movie, but since it's not actually a made up hero, it's a hero that actually exists. It's sad for that to actually happen. It really is. It's just like the comic book the movie. It's like, what the heck is this? And that's what basically what should have happened. But yeah, that's about all I have to say is the Green Hornet movie. I say don't watch it if you are a good fan. That's for someone who needs to laugh and loves Seth Rogen, go for it. But that's about it. Peace out, guys.